What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury. Get this, Tyson Fury set to skip summer fight as promoter names likely the next opponent. Tyson Fury's U.S. promoter Bob Arum has casted doubt on his man's summertime fight, revealed that the general feeling as it stands is to wait for the four-belt clash with Alexander Usyk. Of course, Fury and Usyk were in deep talks to stage the fight the first quarter of the year, but it fell through. And this is what it was reported. He said, Bob Arum, they're waiting now, both fighters, for the end of the year to fight each other in the Middle East, because that's where the big money is. Right now, I think he's going to wait to fight. But with Tyson Fury, it depends on how he wakes up in the morning. Well, let me counterpunch. First of all, what Bob is saying based on the choices, options, that he may wait for Alexander Usyk because that's the next big thing. However, the last part of that is what stuck out, is how he wakes up in the morning, meaning how he changes from day to day. So if Tyson Fury decides to fight someone, he's going to do that. And Bob's just telling us that Tyson Fury does whatever he wants to do, and we simply don't know. Until further notice, he will fight Alexander Usyk in our later part of this year. But that shows us, and Tyson Fury has showed us, that the way he's calling out names, I would love to fight Usyk, or now I would really love to fight Anthony Joshua. You're like, okay, what the hell is that about? You know what I mean? And it's just like, well, that's just letting you know. And Bob Arum is just trying to gauge, like, okay, well, he's calling out Anthony Joshua, he's calling out Alexander Usyk. They're supposed to be in talks behind the scenes. Bob is saying that he's in talks with Skills Challenge. So, but that's on down the trough. But it's a good assessment to understand that Tyson Fury pretty much does what he wants to do. The guys he wanted to fight fell through. It sucked for everybody, honestly, because, we would probably have saw a Joyce versus a Tyson Fury, and since Joyce lost to Zhilei Zhang, and then Joyce had a rematch clause, those guys are pretty much stuck with each other. That's why I really disliked that situation for the progression of boxing, and the progression of that produces better fights for us in 2023, because that would have been a unicorn, so to speak, because we wouldn't have expected a Zhilei Zhang versus a Tyson Fury. But those are the type of fights that are the dangerous ones. Those are those fights that you don't know what's going to happen, because Zhilei Zhang is so different. He hasn't fought mutual opponents from anybody else except for Hrgovic, and Hrgovic had problems getting fights with any other fighter, right? Besides Zhang, to put himself where he's at. So, that's the problem, But other than that, Joyce would have been fighting, Tyson Fury. So it's and you can't really blame Tyson at this point. I mean, well, yes, you can, because he should have fought Usyk anyway. But it just shows you that things happen. So if you think that these particular fighters will be available for you, think again. Okay, so, the powers that be, how things unfolded, this is what we're dealing with. And Tyson Fury is left without a formidable opponent. He could pick a Joe Blow, but then maybe he's just tired of fighting nobodies. Bullshit fights, cherry picks, easy pick'ems. Maybe he's sick of that by now. But nonetheless, according to Bob Arum, he may just wait until that time. Now, what's the caveat in that whole scenario, on the idea of waiting? Ring rust, inactivity. Tyson Fury was the main person that said, and he was the poster child for saying that, hey, Inactivity will beat anybody, just like Father Time will. Inactivity is like the little brother to Father Time in the mind of Tyson Fury. He said it many times. He said inactivity, it doesn't matter how good you are, doesn't matter how skilled you are. Inactivity is the defeat of defeat, right? That will beat you. That opponent will beat you more than anybody else. Okay. And if he's saying that, and if this is what he chooses to do, I don't think it's good for him, because belief is a very powerful thing, but there is truth behind that as well. Okay. So Tyson Fury thinking that, hey, I might get beat. Well, you may get beat. That's why it's important for Alexander Usyk and their team to move on from you, because they know, okay, as long as they bullshit with you, a fight may not ever be made, based on how you are wishy-washy and you don't know what you're going to do from day to day. They didn't have time for that. Okay, so with Tyson thinking that, hey, well, I'll just wait and get the big money at the end of the year. Well, who's the guarantee you'll be ready, sharp enough? You know what I mean? Unless he just thinks it's going to be that easy. I'm going to smash Usyk and that's it. Well, I think it's going to be to a situation, if that fight happens and he doesn't get a fight with anybody else and he is inactive and he is ring rust and all that stuff, he's going to have to knock out Usyk, because Usyk's not one of those guys that is going to slouch with him. You know what I mean? So he's going to have to really take it to him, just like he did Cunningham. And I don't see him really pinning Usyk down like he did Cunningham, because by the time he pinned Cunningham down and caught him with that forearm, then caught him with that bashing hook he caught him with, he was already hurt, and he already got caught with a few big Tyson Fury shots. So there you go. So I think that is the caveat in that particular situation. That Tyson Fury may need to fight someone else, or he may go in rusty. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Tyson Fury thinking or on a standstill, so to speak, of not taking the summer date. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.